Hello and welcome to Mitchflix. Today we're going to take a quick look at The Girl on the Third Floor, a film given such titles as the scariest movie ever. How does it hold up? Let's take a look. The film opens with the obligatory slideshow of questionably creepy shots, including such horror classics as Nana's Wallpaper, Lonely Marble, more on him later, and Ceiling Nipple. As the movie starts, we're introduced to our brave protagonist, and CM Punk, who's just purchased a new house, seemingly with his eyes closed, as for the first scene he spends a while simply staring around slack-jawed like he's been living in a bin for the past 20 years. CM, or as he's known in the movie, Don Cooch. Don Cock. Either way it sounds bad. Sounds like a compensatory name for a bloke with the world's tiniest... Oh, it's pronounced Coke! Don Coke. Oh, that's way better. Don, also known as Phil, has purchased a real fixer-upper and brings us tools to start the renovations.
Who paints a room pink?
Painted the room pink? Madness. Interdimensional demon butthole? Yeah, that's totally normal. My nan has one. So Don wastes no time getting to work on the house. You have to wonder about the direction given to elicit the performance given by CM Punk in this movie. I'll give you an example. What did they say to him to get this expression out of him while knocking into this wall? Did they take his juice cup away? Did they ask him to do the scene as an old man after getting kicked in the nuts? Then the Lonely Marble reappears and tries to make friends with Don before getting swiftly eaten by his dog, followed by one of many lines that sounds like it had been written by a 6-year-old.
Don't look at me like that. You're the one that's gonna have to shit that out later.
After clearing out the house, Don sits down with a friendly neighbour for some intellectual conversation.
Dirt's good.
And reveals he plans to bring his wife over once the work of the house has been completed. After a hard day's work, Don decides to take in some of the local cuisine at a bar nearby.
Don't shit in the house.
'Cause that's my job. Because I'm a big boy.
The goddamn machine likes to eat balls.
After the owner suggests the machine might not be the only thing that likes to eat balls,
You clear?
we're treated to some more award-worthy acting from CM.
You got a real fucked up way of welcoming people to the neighborhood, Gary.
Eat the peas, eat the peas, eat the peas, eat the peas. I'm a badass.
The following morning, the work continues, with Don flailing a hammer around some pipes like a confused baby until the sink spits up on him. While outside, we meet Sarah Yates, a local who seemingly has a penchant for failed UFC fighters unofficially sponsored by Pepsi,
They don't look so old.
covered in shit. After a while, Don goes to try the shower in his new home by standing underneath it and staring up at it like he's expecting to be abducted, but to his disappointment, simply gets ejaculated on. Because of course he does. Sink covers him in shit. Shower ejaculates on him. If I was him, I wouldn't even think about using the toilet. Following the trend in being incapable of doing a scene with a normal facial expression, Don continues work while seemingly trying desperately not to fart. Later on, Sarah reappears and seduces Don after a tour of the house.
This dress looked better on the floor.
She leaves, and Don finds out his DIY and cage fighting skills have something in common. What happened? The ceiling looked better on the floor as well? Turns out, this house is a little more than it seems, and Don discovers bleachers installed over his bedroom.
I don't know. Bleachers? Hey, maybe they heard about how hot our sex life is and had them installed, huh?
Oh my god. I just don't understand how you missed this during the appraisal.
Really? Has she met him? Later, Little Miss Homewrecker
What you
returns.
doing?
You know me. I'm just working hard, cranking away.
Sounds fun.
Nah, I'm doing a bunch of heavy lifting in here. I got this.
And Don, remembering he has a wife for a moment, turns down round 2. Following a rough night's sleep, Don starts his day with his typical morning schedule of staring at a wall for a long time and eating a marble. Was this actually written into the movie? Because it seems like they just filmed CM Punk for the day and this is just one of the things that happen. Don's buddy Milo comes to help with the renovations, and after another run-in with Sarah, Budget Doc Brown explains the house used to be a brothel. Back home, Don and Milo get into an argument, and Don decides to take the dog out. The lonely marble somehow escapes Don's colon and lures Milo downstairs into the basement for some hammer time with Sarah, with the help of clapped Marilyn Monroe. Don returns after mistaking his dog for a box to find the house empty. He then gets a message from Milo saying everything's cool, so he moves on to call his wife, once again in his underpants because reasons. Later, Sarah strikes again by tumble drying Don's dog, causing him to dribble scrambled eggs in rage and called the police. Moving on, Don then takes the law into his own hands by smashing Sarah with a hammer, antiquing her and using her to insulate his basement.
Hey, Bunny.
Hey, Tiger, what you doing?
Oh, just working.
I mean, how can she find out? That is the face of an honest man. Oh, and just ignore the blood. I tried the shower again. Shit! Why is so much of this movie just slapstick? I mean, Don can't even throw a piece of wood in rage without it coming back and slapping him in the face. After finding Sarah now gone, Don stumbles across a secret room with odd drawings and a creepy doll, and even that looking oddly disappointed in his acting performance. In search for answers, Don smashes up more of the house he was renovating to find Milo chilling in the wall.
Oh, God!
As well as clap Marilyn Monroe climbing out of his underwear drawer. Here, we see another opportunity to Punk to really flex his acting muscles. Okay, Punk, give me Terrified. Scariest thing you've ever seen. Oh, no, don't eat that. Oh. Turns out the marbles took it personally and rally up to give Don the experience of hunting down the world's most wayward testicle. Don's wife Liz then arrives and discovers in the local wall newspaper that a girl was killed in the house and her body never discovered. Liz and the pastor then have a heart-to-heart, where we learn that Don has been in trouble for ripping off his clients.
It's out of their retirement funds.
Liz then heads home to find a house party of guests, all gathered to watch Sarah get hit by a Marilyn Manson video extra with a tiny stick. Liz eventually finds Don, who has lost all his marbles, but still found time to make a fun moustache out of blood. Don then cuts himself open, revealing Sarah, and the wall farts out clap Marilyn Monroe. Liz takes action, not before stopping to deliver a cool one-liner akin to femme fatale of the past, such as "Stay away from her, you bitch," or "Dodge this."
Nope.
Flawless. Liz finds the body of the girl trapped in the wall and buries it to wrap things up, and the movie ends with the scene 6 months later, where the baby is born and Don makes a final appearance, stuffed in an air vent launching marbles at his child. Because reasons. And that's The Girl on the Third Floor. While I can see what they were trying to do here, it just comes across as weak on the side of a scary movie. Sometimes downright hilarious due to CM Punk's performance, which alongside someone like Triste Dunn, who plays his wife, makes the movie seem like messy in every sense of the word. Any sinister overtones are drowned out by slapstick moments in its bland script. If you can find the funny side in this one, it's worth a go. But the scariest movie ever, it certainly is not.
Eat the peas, eat the peas, eat the peas, eat the peas. I'm a badass.